You can see we just have 5 trades. 216% speaks for itself. That's like 20 years worth of S&P 500 gains in a month and a half. What's going on? It's Ryan here from Happy Trader. It is Friday, February 16th, 2024, and we're going to be doing our January to today for 2024 micro ES, so small account size back test using Happy Trader signals. And that's how we're going to be just kind of running this video. You can see today the indexes are kind of flopping over. We have a bank holiday on Monday, so today's really just not the best day for a trading video, just one of the boring, all over the place trading days. But what we're going to do is the same thing we did with the NASDAQ. We're going to go for a very hands off strategy. So not only are we going for, small account size, we're going for an easy strategy that doesn't require you to sit in front of your computer all day while the market does what it needs to do. We're going to be taking some of these larger trends. So that's what we're going to be looking to do. We have our 45-minute chart up. We have our MES up. We're going to be testing the long and the short. First thing we're going to do is turn on the long and the short strategy. So this will be trading both ways against the S&P 500, and we're going to just set today's date to 2024, and we want 1/1/2024 to be the rest of the test. We're going to reset all this stuff to default, and we're going to set this to a $500 account. So we're using the smallest account size, the smallest instrument, the smallest initial capital, and we're not going to add any additional orders in a single direction. Commission and slippage you can calculate on your own because this is a swing trading test, and you can do that with the day trading stuff too, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and make sure that everything is correct, looks good, and we're going to generate our report and see what we come up with. So let's see what the long and the short did for the S&P 500. All right, so that's interesting. So we had 10 total trades. We had a bit of a drawdown here, which is to be expected because think about it, the market's been going in what direction all year so far? Pretty much up, or pretty much straight up. So we have a little bit of a drawdown when we're trying to short a market that's going up. The bad news is that we did have a drawdown. The good news is that the drawdown only put us down to $285. In many cases, the margin's only going to be $50 or $100 on these micro contracts. It does depend on your broker, though. Now, the good news is 172% in a month and a half. So that's about 10 years of buy and hold S&P 500 gains using, your typical retirement account or your typical Vanguard account. So we're just blowing that away, going from signal to signal. Now you can see all we're doing is taking our uptrend signal and then we're covering it. You can see on the downtrend signal, we're covering the buy AI, we're closing the order, and then we're executing simultaneously a sell, and then we're doing the reverse when we hit the uptrend signal again. So pretty cool. Only 10 trades to make 172%. You would have had a really hard time with the strategy with this psychological drawdown, but that's really the way the market is. You have to get over the psychology of it. But also another thing to mention is just if you look at the list of trades, you can see there's only 10 of them. You can see the winners are just so much bigger than the losers, right? So look at this one here, 713. We had the chance for 845. And then even on our losing trades we had, well, these ones were just straight up losers. This one was, could have went either way, could have scalped it. It was just a very non-eventful trade. And then you can see on this one was just a loser as well. But a lot of times, like such as this trade here, when we do larger sample sizes and we do lower time frames, like the 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute intraday charts, these run-ups typically give you the ability to take profit early without having to go in a rudimentary sense from signal to signal. So that's just that. And yeah, looks pretty good from the long and the short. I like it. Let's look at the overview one more time. 50% profitable. I like that. So what I'm noticing is just with swing trading, just the win rate is higher. Now that doesn't really mean much because like I say in other videos, there's certain strategies such as ours and what we programmed Happy Trader to do is, to have bigger winners than losers. closers. So if you have a larger sample size of trades, such as on like the 5 or 15-minute chart, this is going to drop, but you're probably going to have a higher expectancy because you're taking more swings at the plate, right? So average trade, $86. That's the average trade expectancy. Average number of bars in trade, 85 45-minute bars. That's super low maintenance for a month and a half of trading. So now let's get into the long only. So we saw the long and the short, did have a little bit of a drawdown. So you might have wanted to hedge or something there. For this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to reset everything, make sure it's fresh. We're going to go in, set this to a $500 account. We're just going to do one contract and no pyramiding and no commission, no slippage, because you can see, it's just not that many trades. And let's go ahead and just make sure everything's good, looks fine. Let's generate the report. And you can see here the drawdown never gets into that red zone. So when you're doing the long only, and really, if you think about it, the stock markets tend to just go up, right? Over time in the macro, right? So really, when you're going on the long strategy and you're going with the market, and the markets tend to drift up over time, and you're on a macro time frame, you're trading a macro instrument that kind of moves a little bit slower than the Nasdaq. And of course, going with the market, you're going to reduce the number of trades because you're just going to get more runners. So your average trade expectancy in this case, going long only, just knowing we're kind of in a bullish scenario, and really not today, but it's the month end expiration. We have a holiday on Monday, so everybody likes to kind of flatten out a little bit and avoid that potential gap down. I'm not one of those people. I like to trade regardless because you never really know what the market's going to do, and I have hedging strategies and all that stuff in place, as should you. And again, this isn't financial advice, so if you're watching this video, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you how happytrader.io performs, and it performs great. A lot better than not having an indicator, because you wouldn't think that that's a buy signal. You might think that that's a sell signal once you see this bar here, but you wouldn't know for sure. And you still don't know for sure with Happy Trader, but it's really accurate in backtesting, as we're kind of looking at now. So let's turn the indicator back on, and you can just see it's a lot easier to kind of follow. You can see we just have 5 trades, 216% speaks for itself. That's like 20 years worth of S&P 500 gains in a month and a half. So that's great. We have our trade log. We had winning trades that were, again, bigger than the losing trades. And in this case, just same kind of deal. We kind of had some scratch outs. But, look, some of these trades that were winners, just going signal to signal, you had the chance to take even more profit on the run up. Maybe potentially making this into like almost a 300% profit strategy. And that's going to be something to make note of. So if we just go to, the equity curve again, you can see we had a drawdown that put us about to break even, but then we just, as the market tends to do, it tends to bring you down just to that point of max pain and then up. So a lot of folks would have taken profit here and maybe like put a hedge on here and then kind of rode this wave up and maybe taken some profit here or maybe here. So, psychologically speaking, if you're looking at these trades and you're super actively trading, you're going to get some different results than machine back testing, because our machines do not have feelings and do not have psychology and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's going to be the back test. And you can just see the performance summary. It looks nice and clean here. That's really going to be it. Happy Trader has proven so far in 2024 to be a phenomenal indicator and predictor of market direction. I'm super proud of it, especially on these futures. So the MES, the ES, the full size, and this again is the 1/10 the size of the regular ES. We did the MNQ yesterday. Like, subscribe. You can see some of the other videos we do and some of the other back tests and see just how scary accurate this thing is. We're going to be getting into some more equity type trading very soon, but I love doing these leverage trades, especially with small account size, because it really goes to show you when you look at the strategy tester, turning 500 into 1,000. But you can't argue with 2xing your cash in a month and a half using 5 trades, right? So it's just something you can't argue with. And to see that the long and the short strategy also performs very well. If we just go back to that and generate the report again, yeah, you have a bigger drawdown, but yes, you have the ability and the heads up through the happy trader downtrend and uptrend signals to know to put a hedge on. Okay, so if you're getting a downtrend signal, maybe put a hedge on. Just saying, that might be an idea. Not financial advice, but shorting a market that's going up, not always the best idea. So that's why I prefer the long only, and I prefer the long only on any macro time frame from about 30 minutes all the way out to 4 hours. So again, my name's Ryan. I'm the CEO and head quant here at happytrader.io. That was the 1.5 month MES backtest. Super impressed with the results. Totally stoked considering we started with $500 on our backtest and we only had 5 closed trades on the long side and 10 on the short side. So, I mean, that's just crazy. I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you all have a great holiday on Monday. Have a great day and happy trading.